All right, so I'm going to try a different protocol here to try to make this more uniform. So we're going to start out, turns out this scale has got plenty of mass capacity. What we're going to do is when you fill a pan, whether you're doing the double pan or the single pan, before you put anything in it, just go ahead and tare it. Hit the tare button. This has a lot of variation in it, probably about 30 grams or something. So there's a certain amount of error in there. But so then we're going to go ahead, and the way you're supposed to do this is you're supposed to make sure this stuff is both blended and fluffed up a bit. So I'm kind of chucking it up a little bit. So I'm just going to chop some of that loose material in there until we have more or less got it over the rim. Okay, it's over the rim now. So what we can actually do is use the inside edge of this lid to just plane it out. And so that's going to be very close to a uniform flat surface if we do that. Now at this point, we're going to check the weight after we clear off the rim, so there's not a lot of junk there. These rims probably could use to be washed periodically, so I think it's a good idea to once a month, every few weeks, clean those up so that part's not bad. Okay, so we're going to put it back on the balance. This is reading 1806. Now, the other ones in this series were around, the first one I did was around 1900. So we're going to add just a little bit of soil or media until we get around, we want to be at 1900 plus or minus about 50, because that's about the limit of our resolution. Okay, so now we got a little tiny bit extra in the top, but you know, it's not really going to matter. You don't even have to worry about taking this little divot out. I would just scrap that. Put your lid on. Snap it down a few times, and you'll see that this lid is sitting tight. It's not jammed at all. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more, just so we can follow this through on the process and get an idea how long it takes. Okay, so get the next one out. Take off the lid, put it on the scale, tare it. This is showing 42, so it's giving us a difference versus those ones. In the bucket here, I don't want to see this thing filled all the way to the top like it was when I got it here today, because you can't really mix it properly that way. If you're not mixing it, you're going to get non-uniformity. So that's one reason why you want to sort of fluff it. You're also mixing it with all the other underlying layers so you don't get a wet spot or a dry spot or something. Alright, so got it filled more than the top. Get those little holes filled in if there's any on the sides. Use that lid. Probably easiest to do it in two scrapes. One this way, rotate it, run the other way. So like making a label or a level teaspoon or a cup measurement when you're baking. Okay, again, let's clear the. And I think what happens is that it's not quite level. It scours it down just a tiny bit. But what we're trying to do is within the batch we want it to be uniform, and so we don't want to have a lot of variance between pan to pan, because that's going to mean they're heating at different rates. Okay, we run this one out showing 1820, so we're going to take a little bit more, sprinkle it on. Now it's at 1899. That's 1900 basically. That's close enough. That's within a 50. That we're just going to spread that out a little bit. Again, you don't have to, if you do this uniformly, that density, you do not have to remove the little plug in the middle. And then you see it's tight again. We're set to go. In the button it goes. And make sure on the top shelf that you're keeping that thing away from the temperature probe. Okay, so hopefully that works out for our newer process.